Welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's try that again where I'm not fumbling over my words. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Present Company Included. I am TeddyGrizz, joined as always by Gleeman and Rhino Rocks. And today we have a guest star with us, Cosmic Otaku. Cosmic, you want to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm a Cosmic Otaku. I am the schizo who does mostly cultural commentary through reactions and creates 10 to 15 minute musical epics.
10 to 15 minute musical epics is pretty accurate. They
It
always
very
end up
much
being
is.
longer than I expect, but very good.
They're actually
Thank you.
perfect for showers, I found.
That's entirely
Oh.
fair. I actually made them that long so that I don't have to fiddle with my phone when I'm like on a long drive.
Nice. I always find myself going back to Raise the Bells whenever I'm taking a shower. I just love that one.
I mean, yeah, I did quite enjoy how that one came out, right?
Sorry, tangent.
That's totally fine. I've said it before. If I cut out all the tangents from it, we would have half of a podcast. So
It would be concise.
maybe even educational at times, and that could be terrifying. So
For today's topic, though, we are coming back to the Odyssey trailer. This one is the final trailer before the movie releases next week. And I thought it would be a fun little jaunt for the three of us to get back into the trailer. And I don't know if Cosmic has seen the Odyssey trailers.
I'm not for animation person, so I don't really like action films.
ooh, he was coming through pretty robotic to me. Was that for you guys as well?
Yes.
Oh god, I have no idea what for that. Maybe let me check something. The correct microphone. Let's see.
You cleared up a
Let me-
little
let me-
bit there.
Yep.
Let me
you
try
cleared
this one.
out.
Does this help?
Keep talking.
How about this? Does this help any at all?
You're clear. It sounds like maybe this is a lower quality mic than you were on before, but you're definitely clearer.
Okay, it is a lower quality mic. It's literally the headset mic. I don't really care about the quality as long as y'all are okay with the sound. Y'all are the ones who are ultimately going to deal with all the the actual y'all are the ones who are in
Audio.
charge of this project. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so to repeat the question so we can do it without the robots. Have you watched any of the Odyssey trailers, Cosmic?
I have not. Again, as I said, I stick mostly to animations, so I don't really watch a lot of live action, online content. I don't really watch a lot of live action like TV series, and I don't really watch a lot of live action films. Everything I
Oh.
watch for the most part is animated.
Okay, but are you aware of like the controversies around the movie and all that?
A little bit. I did mean to watch the Metatron breakdown of like the back and forth regarding this. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
His mini breakdowns.
I
The man
quite
is-
like Metatron.
Yeah, the man is on a hunt for Nolan.
Cosmic, how familiar are you with the Odyssey as a story?
Interestingly, it's been fucking decades since I've read the Odyssey.
But you have read it.
Yes, when I was a wee lad.
Okay.
Right. I think that puts you above most Americans when it comes to recognition of it. I could be wrong, but I think that puts you in a better space than most Americans. I think we should go over our familiarities with it as well. Again, I know we did that in the last one, but in the last, I read an abridged version of the Odyssey in high school, which was, over 20 years ago now.
And I have read the Odyssey both in high school and in college when I was an English major. And I've done a couple papers on the Odyssey as well as the Iliad. I'm also very familiar with several adaptations of the Odyssey, as well as general knowledge of multiple. They're not adaptations, but multiple occurrences within the media genre, or within media as a whole of the Odyssey coming up. Rhino?
And Rhino?
I have read the Odyssey, the Iliad, and the follow-up, the Aeneid, although it has been quite some time, as well as the general historical context behind it. And given how unimpressed I was last time, I'm really hoping this trailer just knocks my socks off. I want it to be good. I want
Fair
it to.
enough.
I really do. But
See, yeah, the thing is, I don't think anyone really wants any of these things to fail. To be perfectly honest, right? It's more interest. It's better that these things succeed and we have nothing to talk about, because then we can talk about
yes,
something more interesting.
Well,
it is
absolutely.
fun.
This is one of the stories that I would love to see have a proper adaptation to it, something akin to another, as we discussed last week, another Lord of the Rings. In this case, it would be the precursor to Lord of the Rings. This set up a lot of what we consider the Western mythological structure and how we see stories told.
It did manufacture a lot of tropes.
Well, a lot of those tropes are probably around for thousands of years
Yeah.
beforehand, because this is a retelling of memories of what would have happened in the Mycenaean period. So it would have already been relatively ancient by the time that Homer would have recited these tales.
Right. Both the Iliad and the Odyssey are more like consolidations of the tales that were told at the time. So, shall we get this thing started?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Have
For
that
those of
pause
you
when
at
you're ready.
For those of you at home, if you haven't watched this trailer already, there will be a link to the original video in the description. And because we will be pausing frequently and speaking a lot. So if you're here just to watch the trailer, do
Go
that
somewhere
first.
Be
else.
disappointed.
Okay.
All right, Gleeman, you're at the wheel. Go for it.
Odysseus.
Immediately makes me think of Dune.
I
I
did
know,
not watch that
and
movie.
Right off the
it,
bat.
it doesn't help that it's Zendaya. So
But you couldn't tell that from a distance. But like, I haven't seen the new Dune movie, and I knew that looked like Dune. You know what I mean?
and I think it's like
Wasn't
how
it right
it's
in front of a
shot.
beach, though? Wasn't there like an ocean just beyond?
Yeah, he was driving on the beach, but if you'll remember, Dune does start on not Arrakis. What's Paul's home planet?
We do also need to remember from the last time we watched this, there are a lot of ambiguous landscapes with things that may or may not be slightly in the background.
Yeah, I
That
remember
is
last time.
definitely a continue.
Go ahead, Acosmic.
I was going to say it is a bit of a like, cinematographic choice.
Right. Last time in the last trailer, I remember distinctly thinking they were on a beach and there was an ocean in the background until I realized that it was just fog and there are people walking through it and into like in ways that wouldn't make sense for there to be an ocean. So
Right.
Also, is it just me, or does this camera angle give the impression that the water is higher than the land she's walking on? Like, I know that's probably
Does
just a select angle, but
it almost to me it almost has like an ambiguity about whether or not she's actually walking on land or if this is like a shallow like covering of water above the land, right?
almost kind of like a
Mm,
I don't know if
bog.
that the kind yeah, kind of. I again, as you said, I think ambiguity is kind of the entire point here.
right.
Don't you remember?
Trireme looks amazing.
Fire.
So
Death.
I remember.
okay, so we got the Siege of Troy, and then I'm
Can
assuming.
I have a look at the armor stacks there?
Hmm.
It's somewhat modernized a little bit, but that does look fairly period appropriate armor wise.
I mean,
Now,
for like a
the
classical
period
Greek
being
retelling, yeah,
ambiguous,
yeah, for
you know.
classical Greek retelling, probably, but like for the Mycenaean period, which to be fair, I don't think anyone's really shooting for, probably not.
No, no, not for anything that far back, but for like late classical Greece into maybe like the very early Roman era, like forgive me, I'm not as well versed on time periods, but right around the time of the Persian invasions, that's probably fairly accurate. I don't think there would be as much metal. You'd see a lot more leather, but relatively close.
I'm not
Now,
much of a history guy. What did you mean by the Mycenaean period? Is
Yeah,
it
so the
should this
Mycenaean
take place in the Mycenaean period?
yes.
Yes. So based off of the timeline in the Odyssey and the Iliad and historic, just the general historical consensus, this would have taken place during the Mycenaean period, which would have occurred before. So it goes the Mycenaean period, right? And then between the Mycenaean period and classical Greece, there is a several hundred-year period called the Greek Dark Ages, where they forgot how to write, and they just so we have no record of culture between the Mycenaean period and ancient Greece, or classical Greece as we call it, right? So the Mycenaean Greek period is actually older than what we usually think of as ancient Greece.
And a
So
cosmic, what you're referring to as far as classical period is the Hellenic period.
yes,
Okay.
Of course, named after the famously black Helen of Troy.
And so this armor, though, this would not fit the
It's
that
relatively
Mycenaean
period.
close.
period.
I mean
If
no, and to be fair, the I don't think that the Curious probably fits with classical Greece either, but it does look like a
no,
Hollywood interpretation of like that kind of armor, and I
if
don't really
this
Right.
was
mind
a
that.
later classical Greek piece, this would definitely have been a more high end set. But I could see this existing in idea. You know what I mean?
See, the thing is, I also don't really care about whether or not they pick either a classical Greek rendition of the armor and technology or a Mycenaean one, so long as they commit to one. To be perfectly honest, because like older depictions of the stories of the Iliad and the Odyssey would have used classical Greek,
Mhm.
inspired, equipment because that's what we actually knew for the most part. So the idea would have been there. The things that they would have been imagined wearing in the retellings of the time would probably have been very close to what the
Right.
soldiers of the time were wearing. And there are inconsistencies between what the Mycenaeans actually wore and what is described in the Iliad and the Odyssey, because again, it's more than 500 years removed from the time period by the time
Oh, yeah.
Homer is actually telling the story. So while there's a lot of things that are true to the time period, there's a lot of things that have been forgotten and then, adapted over time. So I don't really care whether or not they're historically accurate, just as long as they pick a theme and run with it kind of deal.
This does give slightly more Roman, but I'm trying. Believe me, we're going to tear this thing apart. I see it coming. I'm trying to be as forgiving as possible early on.
I was
We're
thinking
warmed
that
up.
we're a pretty decent ways in. We're like 30, 40 seconds in. There hasn't been as much stuff, at least not right up front, to just make me go, ugh, this is concerning.
We're getting there. We're
They
getting
haven't
there.
shown anything yet either. They've shown a trireme in the dark, which I will give credit. The trireme looks great. They've
They like to
showed
hide things in the dark in these
yeah,
trailers, though. Like, genuinely, they hide their mistakes in darkness.
some period ambiguous armor, and they actually have a spear in the background, which I know was a big there was a lot of contention about whether there were spears in the movie last time because we really didn't see any. So it's
Well,
nice to
now
see some confirmation.
we know where
Well, I
all the
mean,
spears went.
spears
See,
are a pretty common thing at the time because it's just a pointed at the end
Yeah.
of a stick.
which is why we thought it so strange that they didn't have any spears in the previous trailer. But what we're gonna see is that as the camera focuses, that's not actually spears; they're actually just a bunch of flags. I think that would be so funny if it was actually just flags
Dude,
on the
Teddy,
battlefield and not spears.
I could believe it. The spears just unfurl.
Right?
Okay.
Wait, they have Zendaya playing Athena? What the fuck?
I'm gonna be this movie's gonna have enough problems. I'll be forgiving of that choice because I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever heard. I'm sure there's better out there, but that's one of the more forgivable things so far.
She's in the film because Tom Holland's in the film, and they're both like Hollywood darlings.
That's fine.
No,
Oh,
it's
he's
not.
playing
That's a terrible
Telemachus.
reason. That's
It was
literally
a terrible reason, but
that's
I'm just saying
literally
it's not the
nepotism.
worst
That's
one I could think of.
I
Well,
know
it's not
someone else in the
literally
film, so let me in.
nepotism. It's not literally nepotism, but it is
What's the
nepotism
definition of
adjacent.
literal nepotism?
Literal nepotism is getting the position due to familial
Aren't they married?
ties.
I don't
Aren't
believe
No,
so.
no, no, no. So Tom
aren't Tom
Holland isn't
Holland
the
and
one.
Zendaya married?
I actually don't know, but
I assume that they were. I assume that was a familial tie there.
well, what I mean is that the person hiring has to be of a familial tie, and Tom Holland isn't hiring Zendaya. He's also an
That's
actor.
Confirmed this year. Tom Holland and
okay.
Zendaya are married.
Oh, good for them.
I can already see some issues with the casting, but I'm not gonna bring that up right now.
Hey, we will get there. We will get there. Trust me.
I remember. A wife. A son. Home.
Pretty good looking
Now,
castle.
I want to look at that castle.
So it's very ziggurat-y. I don't know if I know that's not the actual term, but the way it has listen, the lingo is not my strong point. But we do have some like bastion style windows. It's layered, moving up. It looks like it has a temple perched on top or
Mm-hmm.
some kind of other central building that could be a temple, it could be a feast hall. And then you have the like core of the facility itself, like the actual hard point at the center. This is not the worst looking castle I've ever seen. I mean, I could imagine someone period specific with access to enough stone making something like this. And you even see that there are people living just outside the castle looking for, wall defense, which is where you would want to be.
I
Yeah.
will say, Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's the guy directing this, right?
Yes.
He might have been the wrong director to do this movie. Not that he's a bad director, but like Mike and the more we learn about this, the more we realize how colorful a lot of these ancient structures actually were.
Mhm.
On the outside and on the inside. They would paint the hell out of these structures on the outside and the inside. And Yeah, no, it does seem like this would have actually benefited and seemed more alive if they actually took the time and even not even like actually the real building, but like gone in and post like added color to the building to again make it feel as if it's lived in instead of like this kind of looks like it's wait a minute. What the
It's very
okay,
drab.
this one.
You are right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nolan is very good at desaturation of all of his films, essentially.
Cosmic,
Uh,
are you familiar with what the source material is that Nolan chose to use for this film?
oh dear.
I
Oh, I
have
forgot
it
about
set
this.
up for me to listen to. I have a criticism of again Metatron's criticism slotted to listen to at work, but I also have the author who wrote the original version, the translation that Nolan is using, her response to Metatron for right after that when I listen to it. So I'm going to listen to those back to back.
Oh,
Okay, so you
the,
are aware then that it's not going to one of the older translations of the Odyssey, but a more
Oh yeah,
recent
no,
one.
it's going to be one of these vernacular translations.
a cosmic. Just a slight correction. The woman who is responding to Metatron, she isn't actually the author. She is just in defense of this take from the author.
Oh, okay, that's an error on my part then. Fair enough. I'm still going to listen, but you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. It is
Oh,
a fantastic listen because they respond to each other at least once again after Metatron does his reaction to her video. She reacts to his reaction and then he reacts to her reaction.
Yeah, that's you know, I might have to add a couple more videos to my work listen to.
It is actually
People make
very,
and
very
people make
cordial.
fun of me for doing a reaction of Asmongold reacting to something else. These people are like 6 reactions deep here. Okay.
send me that video
I,
so I can react to you reacting.
pulled that too. I think I have a couple videos of me reacting to a reaction of a reaction of a reaction. I think I make fun of myself every time that happens.
Oh, at least we'll never. Well, I can't say never, but I hope that we don't get like the EFAP reaction, black hole. That was a reaction to a reaction to a reaction to an answer to an answer to a reaction to a reaction of a uh, home tour.
If we ever
Well,
get to that
maybe.
point deep, we're just going to put a clip of me coming into the room saying I took a shit, and then that's going to be where the video ends.
What the hell, Rhino?
Why? Why?
Because that'll sum up everything all at once. Too convoluted, too confusing. Fuck it, we're done.
Oh, good
If you
lord!
zoom in on the slanted wall on the right building at
I have
Okay,
the
this
on the left hand
technically.
side, what is that?
So this
The thing that
technically,
curved. No,
the, the
the other one.
the far right hand side here, this could have been, and I'm probably using the wrong term here. It could probably be a purlon, which there will be an entrance here on the right hand side, overlooking the ocean, which would actually make sense because you wouldn't want there to be an easy enterable side where armies could amass. So
That's not what
basically,
I said.
this is where your main entrance would be, but there would be kill boxes at the top pointing down from that tipped over edge, where essentially it would give you a good firing angle with defense should an army like try and breach that front wall, as well as pouring oil, throwing down large rocks, things of that nature. Is that what they're
Yeah, that's fair.
intending? I have no idea because I couldn't see.
so a
Okay,
cosmic. What were you
that's
pointing at?
fair. Okay, so again, that's the sloped part is correct. The part where you could shoot down there, right? Now, where
Hmm.
your cursor is right next to it. It's this curved thing stretching up from the floor in front of it. No, the floor in front of it.
Okay,
No,
so
the floor.
here.
Up. No, up.
Oh, this right here.
Okay, hold. I'm gonna send a. I'm gonna put my cursor on there and send a screenshot. uh, okay.
Okay, 1 second.
Sorry.
So, you're talking about this right here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it
The
looks
yeah. The
like that is
specific.
either a stairway or an entrance tunnel. It's just very hard to say.
I'm trying to figure out though what the curved pole is though, because there's two poles there. The one
Oh,
closest to the wall
V-
though curves towards the left hand side at the top, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
that might be a gate
that
winch, but it's hard to say. Like,
Maybe it was a street light that they just forgot to take down.
That's what
I
I'm
was
thinking.
thinking the
It's like,
same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
yeah, guys, let's give them some credit. Trust me, they're
This
gonna
very
notice.
well.
I'm not gonna complain about that because it's like, again, most people won't notice that, and I'm pretty sure after you're done like editing a film like this, it's the last thing you know. It's gonna be easy to miss that. I'm just like, what
Oh,
the fuck
yeah.
is that? I just don't know if that was like if that's something meaningful or if that's just like an Easter egg of
It,
like just
it's
a we forgot to edit this out, right?
it's the car in the background of the Fellowship of the Ring type of thing.
If I'm
Right?
being honest and I'm being like as generous as I can be, it is very likely a winch of some kind that maybe they'll show in a close up, you know, for moving goods back and forth and things of that nature. Because you would have to move goods up and down if that's stairs. So
Yeah,
maybe they more credit where maybe they thought that far
Possibly.
ahead.
yeah.
You
This
are
isn't me
very
ragging on it.
generous.
It's just me being genuinely confused as to what that is.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. So it's
yeah.
pretty faint. Maybe you have a higher fidelity monitor than I do.
It is possible, but I've also been zooming in to look throughout the rest of the video.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you were asking me to zoom in. I'm like, I don't think I have that capability.
That's fair.
Nerd enhance.
Ithaca's a kingdom waiting for a king.
My dad is coming home.
Hmm.
You're pining for a daddy you didn't even know.
Oh,
I
Okay,
don't particularly like that.
I am not gonna shit in this scene because this is the best part of the movie. Like from everything we've seen, this is the meat and potatoes of the movie, and this is the part that's going to actually be kind of good. I know that's setting the
dealing
bar
with the
low.
suitors.
Yes, I think that is going to be where the actual quality of the movie is. The lighting is good, the acting is going to be better. It's going to be much more focused in. They're going to pay a lot more attention to this part because they can't just, CGI hand wave it and throw it into the dungeon. I think
I'm
this is going
sorry,
to
but
be
they've already butchered it for me by saying dad and daddy. I'm sorry. That
it
vernacular
is it
in
is
this
the modern
setting.
vernacular, and it to be fair, he is talking shit to what is, and although I do believe, what was his name? Patroclus? Telemachus. Telemachus
Uh,
was supposed to be quite a bit
Telemachus.
younger
Whatever.
than is implied here. I think Telemachus was supposed to be in like his early teens. I'm not positive on that,
Uh,
but
I can't back you. I can't really add 2 or 4 on that one.
yeah,
Again, it's been a while.
same. But that feels right in my head. You know what I mean? I just can't remember the specific age, but I can see someone like threatening someone younger than them, especially if they have like a position of power, like leaning in on someone that way and being like, listen here, you little bitch boy, back up. Your dad ain't coming home. I can kind of get that vibe from it. And I think this is
that
going to be the part of the movie that's worth watching, if any of it is.
th-
I'd really have to I'd really have to see whether or not like the word they either use the word pater or like papas in that scene. Because like if he said papas in there, there's like, okay, yeah, I could see like
Oh,
daddy being like a derisive way,
I
but
don't
it's
think
like
you're
I
getting
just don't know.
any Greek
Yeah,
translation out of this. I think that
this
they're winging it on that part.
this is why I actually really this is the thing that really annoys me about a lot of this stuff is I actually think a lot of these movies would probably do better, and I know this is going to be a bit of a controversial take, right? If they just fucking actually committed to having them recite actually speak in the actual language
oh,
of the
absolutely.
story, because
Oh
then you
yeah.
could have the translation on the bottom. And but I also think this is part of the reason they don't do this because then it'll actually be harder to actually call someone out for a bad translation there, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but that's just me. I actually think
Well,
that again
also
we can skip the whole like vernacular versus more refined speech pattern if we just actually record these things in the original language.
Yeah.
That's fair, but you also then remove yourself from a good deal of the demographic that you're looking to put this in front of, because if a lot of people know that they have to read subtitles, they're not going to watch the film.
And then
Counterpoint: how
there are
many people
some
watched
people.
Passion of the Christ?
Say that again.
See, counterpoint: how many people watched Passion of the Christ?
Well,
Uh,
I'm sure tons.
that is a fair point, but you're
Count,
also talking about Christians.
counterpoint. This is not going to be count. This is nothing of the quality of Passion of the
Passion of
Christ.
the Christ.
I've never seen Passion of the Christ, but I'm going to side with Gleeman here a little bit because I think the one thing we're also forgetting is yes, some people will choose not to watch it because it has subtitles, but some people are just too stupid to watch it because it has subtitles. Some people can't watch a movie and read at the same time. Their brains
I, I
just
mean,
can't do it.
I mean, like, I doubt that that's true. Avatar did fucking numbers.
I don't mean that in the literal sense. I just mean that some people just will see words on the screen and go, "Yeah, I'm not reading today," and they just won't watch it. But the
I
people
Not
who
mean,
watch
uh,
Avatar,
uh, to bolster Rhino's point, a cosmic. Do you really think that people were watching Avatar to read the dialogue?
but I don't really think people are going into the Odyssey to read the dialogue either. I think the story is actually compelling enough that you could probably pull this off.
To bolster
That's
a
that's a
Cosmic's
fair.
point, though,
I
uh,
think if this was competently written and it was a well done production and they did it the way you're describing, have it in Greek with subtitles, I think it would do perfectly fine. But I think everything compounding against it that we've seen so far, it's just one more thing to pull people away from the movie and make them not want to watch it. And they need every advantage they can get.
to
Yeah, I could
to
see that.
to bolster a Cosmic, though, think about if they had nailed this to being historically accurate and actually done in the Greek. Think about how much press Metatron would be doing in favor of it. How
Oh,
many
Yeah,
I
people
think
absolutely.
it's true.
his there's a lot of men are history buffs. It's a very common way for men to spend their time. They would
Hmm.
love to go see historically accurate movies if they're
Oh,
made,
absolutely. Like
especially
in
big
this
budget
case,
ones like this.
yeah. In this case, if this were, let's not say historically accurate, but true to the source material,
Sure.
in the original language and in the costuming and even the casting, let's say. I think this, along with Nolan's name, because after this, I don't think Nolan's name is going to have that much pull anymore. Uh, but uh, with Nolan's name intact, this would have uh, probably been the next Passion of the Christ, or the next like singular story of the decade.
so the thing is like I think Gleeman is onto something here because again, it's like these stories have lasted the test of time because they actually succeed, right? And it's like whoever is actually willing to actually nut up and actually like make a film of any of these fucking stories in the actual original language and actually put real Hollywood, old school effort into these,
Hmm.
plus the modern abilities we have with like again CGI and like camera working that we didn't have in the past. I'm pretty sure you could make astounding works from the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Enuma Elish, the Iliad, the Odyssey, the fucking the Theogony, right? All of these ones. You get the fucking Journey to the West. All these movies that is like they've all these potential movies that have been out there for a while for Hollywood to give a try at, and like they just never actually did so because it's like who wants to go and sit and watch the Divine Comedy where it's like the Divine Comedy has been a classic for how long? It's been a
Right.
classic for a reason. You could absolutely adapt that. And in
And
fact,
old
actually, the Divine.
Hollywood. Oh,
You go.
sorry. I was about to say, old Hollywood used to do such. We had the Ten Commandments. We had Ben-Hur. Those were like historically amazing films at the at the box office. Like they did bank. They made bank.
Yeah, it's like so many stories. For example, the Tainbo Culain, for example, almost no one has ever heard about that. It's like an old Irish poem, right? Epic poem. Could absolutely do that. Like I understand that people struggled with Beowulf just because of the structure of the story, but I guarantee you, you make an accurate version of Beowulf, people will go and watch it, even though it doesn't lend itself to a traditional movie, just
The name
because
would
of what
carry
it is.
some weight.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have the Shahnameh, yeah, the Shahnameh, for example. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You got the entirety of the Poetic Edda. Like, there's so many things out there that could very easily be made into a movie if you just also keep the fucking language the same. And you don't even have to go back like several hundred years, right? There are, if you want to keep just to that particular style, you could try, for example, I guess like the Ballad of the White Horse by G.K. Chesterton, right? Or you could try like The King of Elfland's Daughter by Lord Dunsany, right? How many like actual like H.P. Lovecraft stories are currently public domain now, right? Like there's all this material out there from like but they don't want to touch it because, to be perfectly honest, uh, we all know why they don't want to touch it, right?
Right.
Yeah. The same reasons I want to touch it,
Exactly.
because everyone else is afraid to. I mean, like you said, old Irish stories. Imagine a young director, producer, low budget, saying, "You know what? Fuck it. We're going to take the story of Finn McCool. Nobody's doing
Exactly.
Finn McCool. That's ours. We're going to be the first ones to do it." It's not going to have a huge following initially, but if they do it right, that's going to gain momentum very quickly.
Yeah, it's like you could also do the ring cycle, right? Either the Nibelung and like the written version, or the opera version, just adapted into an actual Hollywood movie, right? Obviously, you have to make some changes because of this different structure, but again, the whole ring cycle is also something that would actually lend itself to being a movie. But they won't. Again, they won't touch it because, again, the classical culture is, must be obliterated. It seems.
To all the listeners at home, if you have never heard of any of these stories before, like I haven't, leave a comment on the video. Let me know. Uh, make sure help me feel, like I
Don't
have
feel
some
bad,
company
Teddy. I'm
here.
running at about 25%. I'm like 1 in 4 for what he's naming.
Oh
But
my god! Wait, did they ever?
I
Is
knew
the
a
Tale of Genji a movie? I know it has an anime movie, but is there like a live action version of the Tale of Genji?
And not that I know of.
I don't know what that is, so no idea. Um, I I did know a couple of them, and I was actually talking with my wife on stream. I think it was just this past Thursday when we were streaming. Uh, she really wants to see Beowulf done. She's big into literature.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, the closest thing we ever got to that was kind of a letdown, to be perfectly honest. So I would love to see a good adaptation of Beowulf into a film.
Oh yeah, that one I remember
The CGI
came
one.
out. Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I'll give them a little bit of leeway. They were trying something new and different. I think it was just way too new and different.
But if there's a lot of people that are out there that are like me that aren't familiar with these stories, then by going back and doing these, they are essentially doing something new compared to what
oh,
Hollywood has been doing. It would be
yeah. Thank you.
bringing this to
Thank you.
people
Thank
that
you. Thank you. Thank you.
it is basically a new story to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is what I have been saying for so long, is that like Hollywood considers these, oh, they're old stories, so we need to wrap it up in a new coding or whatnot. Not, and I'm like, no, because the people haven't actually heard the original story. So why not just tell the original and you will be seen as new and innovative because they haven't heard the story before. Actually, the original story, because there have been adaptation after adaptation with its own spin to it, that the original gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
I have the same
And
problem
really,
with like Robin Hood and with Tarzan. Like no one has actually experienced those original tales unless you've read the books.
yes. And there's also a lot of things that, like, again, if you do like a faithful adaptation of these films, it definitely would catch a lot of people off by surprise. I do get to a certain extent of like, yeah, it's that whole thing with like the Audie Murphy film where it's like we had to tone down the movie because no one would believe that this actually happened when it actually happened, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Mhm.
if you were going to make a movie about like the epic of En Makar, I could totally see that when they get to the section of En Makar and the Lord of Arata, that they would have to take out the section of again like a section of the poem where it's like, ah, yeah, all men at one point worshipped only one god until the gods grew tired of them and their chattering and flooded the world, right? That's two separate stories, but like in that particular epic poem written by the Sumerians, right? They very clearly state that there was a time when all men worshipped Enlil and Enlil alone, right? And did not know of the other gods. So it's like interesting little concession there that kind of cuts against the grain of modern like religious anthropology, right? Where it's like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
everyone was polytheistic, and then monotheism grew out of there. Where it's like the ancient polytheists sometimes are like, no, there was a time when all men worshipped this one god, at least regionally, and then then we became polytheists, which is not what you would expect if that was actually the case, right? Because they are themselves reporting their own memories of ancient history. So
Mhm.
I mean, Greek lore is something along those veins because you had a set number of titans with one primary one who the gods were spawned out of. I mean, it's not one to one, but it's kind of in that vein. And then basically they overthrew what were the titans or the old gods.
yeah,
And then
uh,
from there, they sort of dispersed.
like I think long story short, the point we're getting at is like Hollywood would actually possibly have a shot if they got their head out of their ass and started making some of the fucking older stories in the movies, eh? Uh,
Amen.
Even know. Like some sniveling bastard.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
Bringing vengeance.
Look at
It's
all that
so
gray.
it's so dull. It's so dull.
I don't really mind the gray, like the gray color scale. I think it's being a little bit overly used in this film, when especially during the time period, it should probably have a lot more color in it.
And they're sailing
And
across the
especially the region, right?
Mediterranean,
Like
know?
we're not in the United Kingdom here, right? There's no reason for it to be so gray. Uh,
Right.
um, but
Plus,
yeah, we see the anachronistic helmet and armor here again.
Mm.
right.
And I'm pretty sure the boat is wrong too, but I couldn't really comment on
It's
that
a
in any
it's a
detail.
trireme, which is I don't think they had triremes in Greece. I know they were Roman, but I mean, I could see this being like an early predecessor. I'm actually gonna have to
see,
look that up because I'm not sure. Did the Greeks have triremes?
yeah, it's just one of those things of like everything's so washed out that it makes it like there's a difference between this and, let's say, the more monochromatic nature of like Dune, because in Dune, like everything is that sandy color, and it makes sense, and the story lends itself to that environment, and we also break away from the sandiness of Arrakis when we go to the other planets and we visit the other uh, houses
Yes,
and
very much
learn of them.
location based.
Right, and so we get these brief glimpses of color, the vibrance of something new for the eye to see. and then we're brought back to Arrakis. With this, I know where this is placed. It should be a lot more colorful than this.
Even if it was foggy and you were landing on an island, it's the Mediterranean, or at least somewhere adjacent to it, mysterious place that could or could not be. It's an island somewhere in that area. Have a little green. It's hot as shit. It's humid. Let's
A
see
little
some
bit.
lush.
Yep.
I think a deeper point would be this wouldn't be such an issue if it wasn't for the fact that like every Hollywood movie decided at some point in the past to like, oh yeah, every single film we're gonna do is gonna have a color gradient placed over it to give
Yeah.
it an unnatural color, and
Like a
then
SEPA
because
filter.
everything that was everything that was gritty and darker had a literal gritty and darker filter placed over it, as if we couldn't put together in a realistic color setting what the hell was going on, and that it was grittier and darker, right? Like
Right.
it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like it's almost an insult to the intelligence of the actual audience.
It's like a
funny.
laugh track.
Absolutely.
It's like a laugh track cueing you to say that this is the time for you to laugh. It's a visual laugh track saying this is the time to feel that this is gritty and exciting.
Right.
Now I do wonder though if this extra dark filter is going to actually be in the movie or if it's just something that they placed on the trailer. Because I'm
Oh,
sure they did
this
some
is-
additional editing to the footage for the trailer itself.
This is Nolan. Yeah, he loves washing things out, and
I'd imagine this is 1-to-1.
yeah.
Like, if not for the skin on their arms, I would almost think that this was grayscaled. Like,
Mhm.
it really does look like they just put a filter sheet over the top of it and then projected it with the sheet on it, so everything is just totally grayed and washed out. You get
Mhm.
that little thing of what is supposed to be red at the top of his helmet, and even that's washed out.
Yeah, like if I'm not staring at this, I cannot tell the difference between this and the helmet as far as like color. If I stare at it, then I can see the almost maroon
Mhm.
color in it, but like it's so washed out.
I have it on 3 separate screens right now, each with different lighting levels, and on one of them, it's really easy to tell the difference. On the one that's kind of my brightest monitor, um, the other two, it's very difficult.
One burning into your retinas.
Bringing it all. I could take the throne.
They're not giving up power to you or Odysseus. Do you think life goes back to the way it was? That world is gone.
So again, I have to I have to say a very lack of Odyssey in this. We look at this timestamp. We are almost through the trailer and a severe
just
lack
me,
of
or
Odyssey.
is it just me, or are they completely sidelining all of the mythopoeic and fantastical elements in favor of just like the interpersonal drama, as if like the two don't actually reinforce each other?
Well, you're not entirely wrong because if you remember the first trailer, it was kind of 1-to-1. You did show, him with the suitors, Telemachus fighting the suitors, and the kind of like drama of these people trying to marry his mother and take the throne. But
Yeah.
then it was 1-to-1. Like it would show some of that, and then it would cut to the fantastic voyage side of it. Here, we're getting none of that other than him pulling up to Gray Islands. Like we're not seeing the big metal robot guys, whatever they were supposed to be. We're not seeing the Cyclops. We're not seeing Scylla and Charybdis. We're seeing none of the fantastic elements, and I think it's
To be
intentional.
fair, we didn't see Scylla Charybdis last time either. We saw a bit of a whirlpool.
Yeah.
I'm
Fair.
hoping they
but
don't. I'm really hoping that they don't demythologize this story, because that would be probably
They
the
ha-
worst thing they could do with this.
Well, they have Athena, but her role seems so ancillary right now, and the fact that I haven't heard any casting for Zeus, Poseidon, any of the other gods.
But they did
Poseidon is
have
kind of like one of the main antagonists of the story. To be
Yeah,
him being a
exactly.
bit of a
he's
dick
not
is
the
kind of a like,
antagonist.
huh?
I would say he's
Mm.
the antagonist because he's the one who's like, "Oh, you killed my kid? Be gone."
Yeah, I know. That's what
Absolutely.
I'm saying. It's like it's kind of a conspicuous thing to not. I didn't even check that out. Actually, I didn't notice that because I only saw like 3 people on the casting, and I was like, I can already see a problem with this.
they did have the Cyclops in the last trailer. We
Which
saw
I think is why it's not in this one.
a very shadowy, poor, ugly looking shot of a Cyclops.
hmm We also had a whirlpool and then something coming through a sail that could be a Scylla head.
That's right. That could be.
But
Allegedly.
But
good.
it's a trailer. It's supposed to tease things. It's not supposed to
This is
show
the
everything.
this is
But
the
then why is
official
it only
countdown
teasing?
trailer.
Right.
Yeah, but
It's
then why?
teasing things. It's not showing everything.
If it's supposed to tease this though, why is it only teasing the political and like because let's be fair, the only thing that they're really showing is the political part of this. They're not even really showing the interpersonal like actual romantic stakes behind this, which to be fair is one of the driving like things behind this, right? Odysseus wants to get back to his wife, right? That's a large
Right.
part of the driving like impetus of the hero to suffer through and endure. But the only
I
thing
don't,
that we've really seen is his son be belittled for being the prince, a coup, like being conspired, and like again, people, trying to figure out how to take power. The only thing we've seen is political so far.
I don't even think we're seeing that because I think we've seen more of the political side in the last trailer because we saw him meeting with other kings. We saw much more of the like interplay between the suitors and the mom and him and the suitors and like that kind of triangle moving around of that like just the friction itself as well as
And-
the conflict of him going to the different islands and encountering different people and then getting into fights probably. We didn't see much of the combat
and-
side of it, but I'm sure it's
well,
stellar.
in that first trailer, my biggest problem was like the majority of the trailer, once again, was centered on Penelope and Telemachus. And like again, that's where it's centered. So I'm wondering, where is the Odyssey in this story?
It's just cutaways to him on a gray boat. Like that's all the Odyssey is going to be. It's going to be like 45 minutes of this and then 15 minutes of him on a boat pulling up somewhere gray and then another 45 minutes of this, then a monster, 45 minutes of this,
I
and a
don't
monster and
think
then they're home and it's over.
I don't know if it's Nolan or if it's the what do you call it? Not the advertising, the marketing team. I'm wondering if it's the marketing team. They watched this film and they're like, "Oh, the Odyssey part of this story is shit. So we're going to focus on what was good, which was Penelope and Telemachus."
To be
That's
fair, it could
actually
also be the
probably a
other way
safe bet.
around. It could also be the other way around. Not that I'm saying it is, but it could also be the other way around in that, like, again, a lot of these companies are trying to inshitify everything. If it actually
Yeah.
does turn out that it looks ugly, but it's actually a good film, right? So, like, fails aesthetically on the visual side, but it's actually otherwise fantastic. I'm just giving, like, the hypothetical alternative, right? You could also
hmm
see it as, like, possibly trying to sabotage the film because it's not like they haven't done this with other films before.
What
I don't think they want to sabotage this film. Like this film, it is one of those that is supposed to bring Hollywood out of the dumps.
what if this turns
I don't
out
think that they
and
really want
we're
to come out of the dumps unless it's under their terms, to be perfectly honest.
But it is under their terms. He's using a a feminist uh, adaptation or a feminist translation of the books. He has put the DEI hire in there, and as well as a trans actor. This is like the film that they absolutely want.
Well, let me shy away from the grimdark potential. Let me lighten the horizon a little bit for you guys. What if we're all entirely wrong here? And we have a little bit of historical perspective for this happening? What if instead what we're seeing is another D&D movie, Honor Among Thieves, where the media, the trailers, everything portrayed it as woke Hollywood garbage, but then when the movie itself came out, there was some parts that were a touch questionable, like did it need to be there? But for the 99.9%, it was actually a pretty good movie and a fairly faithful adaptation of what they were trying to take. It was
It
just the
was a pleasant
marketing side.
surprise.
The marketing side
I
of it
will
was
concede
hard.
that. But you have to realize it was also marketed in a different time.
I mean, the movie's not that old.
It
To be,
isn't, but things have changed quite a bit as far as the zeitgeist.
I'm just trying to sprinkle a little sunshine on this rainstorm. You know what I mean?
No, I see what you're saying,
Oh,
Rhino,
absolutely.
and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that there is that potential there that this could
yeah.
end up being much better, and maybe it's an issue of the marketing team are people that are focusing on something that maybe Nolan, maybe even Nolan himself wasn't initially uh, wanting to put so much focus on. It's
And
hard to
they're
know
showing a
until the
lot of the
movie
same
comes
stuff.
out and we see kind of the broader idea of it.
It is harder to tell at this point, but we'll know in a week.
Yes, we
Oh,
will.
this comes out in a week. I'm definitely not
Yes.
watching it.
Did you say
It
you're
has nothing
definitely
even.
not watching it?
It has nothing even to do with the quality of the trailer. It's just I'm not going to. I'm not going to the theaters to watch a live action film. It's not fucking happening. I,
Right.
I
It's a
will. I'm not planning on going and watching it either, but I will see what the reviews say. I'll watch the reviews of some trusted YouTubers, and if they end up saying that it's pretty good, then I might change my mind and go see it. But my
Oh,
default with Hollywood is always no, I'm not going to see it. That's always my
I,
default until they
I,
prove otherwise.
I
as far as like
cannot.
the. Oh, keep going.
Oh, I was about to say I cannot wait for one EFAP's breakdown of
Oh
this
yes.
movie, and I'm hoping that Mahler does a breakdown of this movie. He
Him
does.
or
I hope he
Critical
does.
Drinker. Either one is
Mhm.
fine. Critical Drinker
Well,
would rip this apart because he
uh,
loves this historically accurate stuff.
he will, and it'll be succinct. But I'm wanting like a nice 2 hour, maybe 3 hour rant from Mahler. That would be fantastic.
As far as the thing that we were talking about earlier, though, with like the whole "it's a little woke," I would refer to an old quote by Pope Leo the 13th, right? Who said, "The worst kind of heretic is one who who, while teaching, for the most part, true Catholic doctrine, adds a word of heresy like a drop of poison in a cup of water." And it's the same thing with DEI or any kind of communist communist like subversion in there, right? It doesn't actually take a lot. It's corrosive by its very nature. All you
True.
need is one drop to poison the entire thing because it doesn't have to kill you
Absolutely.
immediately. It can kill you slowly.
Yep. Because that's what they've done over the past 15 years is
Literally, how the
say,
communists got every single thing in the United States they wanted, except for the USSR winning. Every single bullet point that they wanted to achieve since the 60s, they have achieved. And it's been by a slow, incremental poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
very well. Yep.
Can't help but notice.
Oh.
I can't help but notice that we are most of the way through this, and we still haven't seen Black Helen of Troy.
You
She's
know,
coming up.
true.
Okay,
That's this movie? That's this movie.
that is this
Yes.
movie. Yes,
That is this
On
movie.
Oh my.
Carthage.
I I
Wait, so she's
criticized them
black because of
last.
Carthage.
Yes.
I
The
do call her.
Carthaginians weren't even black; they were Phoenicians.
I think I know where that is. Joke's on
Uh,
you.
right?
I know
The
Carthage was a part of Africa, and that is as
Phoen-
far as I need to know.
Phoenicia is basically Israel today. Just saying, right? Basically the exact same place. But the Phoenicians were the Canaanite were basically the same people as the Canaanites, right? For oversimplifying, right? And they were the ones who actually went out and they taught the Greeks how to write after they forgot how to write in the Dark Ages, right? If you ever get the chance, look at the Phoenician alphabet and then look at the Greek alphabet and notice, hey, some of these shapes kind of look really fucking similar, right? It's because, again, the Greeks just adapted Phoenician writing to their own language. And so did the Romans. That's why the Greek and the Latin alphabet kind of look similar, is because they share a same ancestor, right? So the Phoenician, also some of the Greek gods that appear in these stories are not Greek, they're Phoenician. Specifically, Aphrodite is not a native Greek god. She is actually a borrowed deity from the Phoenicians. Her
Ishtar.
Phoenician name was, well, yes, originally from Sumer, right, as Inanna and Ishtar. But under the Phoenicians, she was called Ashtar. What the fuck was she called?
Astarta?
Astarte. Yeah, there we go.
hmm
There's so many fucking deities. It gets hard to it gets hard to remember everyone, right? And then yeah, she was originally a Spartan war goddess until she got adopted in the rest of Greece, who didn't like the idea of women in war, and then the war was stripped away from her until, funny enough, Rome got a hold of her, as Venus, and then was like, hey, you know what? She'd make a great war goddess.
I never
Well,
knew
yeah,
the new
no,
Canaanites were black.
and the new Canaanites are black. Well, the North Africans were never the North Africans were for the most part never black anyway, right?
No,
It
no,
was like
that
the whole
that's especially
Mediterranean.
funny.
Rhino is playing off of the fact that
There is a
Lupita
religious sect.
Nyong'o
There's actually a
is
religious sect currently called the New Canaanites that are, I believe, they're an offshoot of the Mormons. I'm not positive, but they
Uh,
believe with their whole chest that Jesus and the Israelites were all black South Africans who migrated up there. And that's where the butt of that joke came from. It is an
literally,
actual thing. They will knock on your door at some point.
literally we was Jews and sheep.
Yes, 100%.
Hopefully that
He
didn't
was him.
demonetize anyone, right?
You think we're monetized?
Right? That's a fair point. But that doesn't surprise me. It's like, okay, let's continue with the thing,
Before we really get too out of pocket.
right?
Oh, this scene.
Oh,
It's not much
love it.
better. It's not
This-
much better.
This is
This
the one that
almost
I was
looks like they're
talking about.
using fog to like cut down on the amount of work they actually have to do for the scene.
Well,
Right,
this
it's the one
scene's
that I was
kinda
talking about earlier, where I thought that there was a ocean there, and then actually it's just fog, and there's like people back
Hold on,
there.
Teddy, can we go back a second, Gleeman, to those people on that cliffside?
Oh, here?
Yeah, right there. Teddy, you brought this up in the last time. How much do you want to bet this is the fucking Lotus Eaters? How much do you want to bet that's what this is?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I guess it could
'Cause
be.
It could
Well,
be.
I'm
I don't know
willing to
what
bet
this is.
they go into this little cave on this little island, and then there's a hedonistic cult in there, and that's the Lotus Eaters. I have no context on why I think that's the case, but this feels right for what they're trying to do. That they would downplay and make everything just like as sucky as possible. I can
I mean,
wholeheartedly believe this is the Lotus Eaters, and they're
this
just gonna
could all
go into the cave and have an orgy or something.
this
I was
could
gonna say, what are
also
the odds that
be
we're actually gonna
Circe's
see an
island.
orgy in the movie?
Which one was
Fucking hell,
Circe
man.
again?
The witch.
Oh, okay.
No, I think she. Oh, I thought you were talking about the actor for a moment.
No,
But were there other people on the island with her?
mm,
Island with
I can't
Cersei.
Circe, the witch.
No, I know who
in
Cersei is. I'm asking if I understand the question. My audio cut out for like a half second.
He was
I would
asking
say-
if there was anyone else on Circe's island.
I believe
besides
that she was there alone.
crew.
It was just her and the
Yeah.
pigs.
Well, the pigs were the obviously like the crewmates that were turned into pigs by Cersei.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the whole thing was like the drama of him having to stay through the obligation to his brothers in arms versus having to return due
Mhm.
to obligation to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think there was anyone else on the island.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but I don't think there was.
Then this might be the Lotus Eaters. Interesting.
If he returned, he'd have to kill him, like you will.
And that could be them fighting the Lotus Eaters, maybe?
I don't think they did they? It never turned into that.
Well, to be fair, this is also a Christopher Nolan film.
Oh, true.
Right. It just like the makeup of this looks exactly like, or not exactly, but very similar to what we were just shown. So establishing shot and then inside.
It's not the suitors.
No,
It's very cave-like, very like ambiguously gray, very.
that's the
I
entire
know I
film.
can say that for the whole thing, but like there's nothing detailed. Where at least the feast hall and that castle had structure to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This looks like poorly hollowed out.
And then more gray.
Yeah, it also, again, there's no painting on the walls or anything, which is like something that we now know basically all of these early
Yeah.
like Mediterranean cultures did. So it's like none of these places really feel lived in.
Like borderline every culture ever.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're running into nowhere.
Maybe the camera will
I-
flip this time.
I'm actually thinking is the entire purpose of like this film to demoralize this particular story.
It feels it. It really does.
It really does.
Like they're charging across an empty field into no enemies. There's nothing on the other side. Not even the implication. You don't see arrows coming in. There's not like a couple spears or slings come flying in. They're charging into nothing.
You gods don't speak. Good grief.
This also doesn't really seem like something you could really get away with. At the time period, for the most part, the gods are very much
Very
like
hands-on.
well, it's not even that. It's like they're very prone to offense.
Yes.
But you
Oh,
can't say that they didn't play a part in interpersonal lives. Like there was a god and a time for everything.
Well, to be
It-
fair, if you remember the Iliad, like every fucking person and their like grandmother in the gods in the in the heavenly realm was involved in some kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
petty interpersonal conflict in that fucking story.
Right. And I think what a cosmic is talking about is the petulance shown to a goddess at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He would have been smote. He would have been
Yes.
smited by a holy smiter.
Yeah, because like the polytheists, they still feared their gods, right? Their gods may not have been all powerful, but their gods were still powerful to fuck them up.
Mhm.
Like if he was speaking to about other gods, don't other gods don't speak in ways we understand or something like that, she would have been on his side. But him saying you, including her in that, it's very petulant and very insulting.
My issue is more that she's literally there while he's saying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because again, like the gods of polytheism are also in time and in space, so there are places that they are and places that they are not. So you could see, and yeah, this is something we see in like polytheistic cultures. It's like you can actually disparage a god, and there is a theoretical possibility that they don't hear you, right? Because they're actually not omniscient.
Right.
But at the same time, you wouldn't do that necessarily in their sacred space.
Or to their face. It's in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And she, I'm sorry, but she does not have the presence of a goddess.
No. Like again, it's not the
To be
worst
fair-
casting choice they could have made, but compared to the rest of the movie, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like just something different.
And a cosmic, I know exactly the defense that you're going to make is the gods were prone to disguise themselves. I know.
Actually, it wasn't going to
But-
be my defense.
Oh, really?
My point was going to be, it is kind of difficult to like use a human actor to sometimes capture the grandeur of a deity next to a human being while also having them like again walk side by side with each other.
I point at Galadriel.
Selma Hayek with
Well,
a
to be
sniff.
fair, she's also more of an elf. They're
But
literally different category of being.
uh, true, but she had that grandeur. She had that otherworldliness that held a certain aura, a certain gravitas to it.
To be
That is
fair, a
true,
lot
but
of
that
it
was
was
also
the camera and directing, and plus the
yeah.
quality of the actor. Like there was a lot of things going for them to make that shot feel that way.
They could
Also,
make
it
it
wasn't
like
just the
this.
composition too. It wasn't just the composition either, though. There was also background context that helped to inform that the status and ranking in there in the grandeur.
But isn't the context in the Odyssey itself that she is a goddess?
I mean, I would agree. I would agree, but I'm just saying it might be difficult to set that up in the trailer.
Hmm.
I will say that this is definitely not, even if you were gonna like do that, this is definitely not how you would do that, right? I,
Right.
And
I'm
yet
just
it
saying
is the
it's like
least offensive thing in the trailer.
yes.
So far, yep.
Oh, we
There's
got a whirlpool.
Charybdis.
Now,
It's like the anti twister.
here's
Turn
the
to the
beautiful
right.
thing.
Just to the right.
There was a shot showing the left being wide open in the last trailer, and we're like, the fuck is this?
It's like they
Just
were sailing to the whirlpool and then decided, oh no, we don't want to go in there.
whoopsie poopsie. Sure hope there isn't
you
a
know,
giant snake in those mountains.
now that you say this, it comes to mind that another story that Hollywood really should have, if they're going to really get their act together, tell is probably a true story. Like the first science fiction story ever written by the ancient Greeks, because like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, you got swept up, you got swallowed by a whale and taken under the waters, right? After the whole arc of them getting caught up by the winds and like flown into space, it's like this was written in like this was written by the fucking Roman period, the Roman Republic. What the fuck, right?
Mhm.
High concept.
Right, high fucking concept is right, right. What do you mean? There's a war between the sun and the moon, right?
Yep. Oh, we
Oh,
saw it.
go
We
back,
saw
go
it.
back. We saw
Go
it.
back. There she is.
Wait. Hold on. So the last thing we heard said was, "You gods don't speak in a language we understand." And then the
Hmm.
first thing we hear about that is who doesn't speak in a language of pain or blood. Is that supposed to be Athena speaking?
Yes.
We also have
Interesting.
our first glimpse of Juno as random person on a rock.
Random person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elliot Page.
Didn't they give a physical description of? Because they usually give a physical description of these characters in these stories, right? I'm pretty sure they gave a physical description of Helena Troy, and I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that
yes.
this lady does
Yes.
not match that description,
She
right?
was fair of skin and had uh, either it was called yellow hair or it was light
Wasn't it
hair.
red? I don't know if it was like. Hold on, let me check.
I think it might have been
I
described like amber, which could have
Well,
been
Helen of Troy,
blonde or could have
even
been
though she's
red.
called Helen of Troy was a Spartan, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So she would have been olive skin, dark hair, your traditional Italian-esque Mediterranean. She just was a Spartan who, as all the writings have told us from the time period, had the hottest women on the planet. She was just a smoking hot for a Spartan. So like a solid California nine, you know what I mean? It sounds silly, but I mean that's the way you got to look at it. She is the hot chick among a bunch of hot chicks.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Whereas
The face that
Helena
launched
Carthage,
1,000 ships.
yeah,
This would
no,
send back 1,000 ships.
oh god.
I don't actually. I
I'm not
don't
gonna be
even know
that.
if
I'm
that's
not
the
gonna be
same
that
lady.
mean, but I get the rhetorical punch.
Looking at her as opposed to the glimpse we saw in the last thing, I'm not sure that's the same person, or it's just a very unflattering shot. It
It's
could be
probably
either.
just an unflattering shot, to be perfectly
Speaking of
honest.
unflattering things, whew,
I mean, it. Yeah, the
I know it's a bit of a petty thing. But like, if I'm going to go watch the Ramayana, for example, I expect to have a cast of mostly Indians, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna go watch the Iliad and the Odyssey, like, unless it was like, because I know there are Ethiopians in the Iliad and the Odyssey. Like, I could see like a black
hmm
like actor being casted as an Ethiopian because the Ethiopians were always black, right? Whereas like the
hmm
Carthaginians were never black. It's like, yeah, I do think that there is like very obviously a thing where it's like no one would ever put up with like, oh yeah, we're gonna tell the story of Martin Luther King Jr. and then we're gonna cast a white guy as Martin Luther King Jr. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No one would ever like.
I'm
We're gonna
Tom
tell the
Hanks.
story of Obama, make him Asian, right? No
The
one would ever.
go-to the
Huh?
go-to is using a fictional character, and like everyone knows Wakanda, so making Ryan Gosling the Black Panther.
That
I
would
mean,
be
to be fair,
fucking
somewhere in the
amazing.
Marvel universe there probably is a white Black Panther. But that being said, somewhere in the Marvel multiverse there probably is a white Black Panther. But
Does that make him a gray panther?
No, but it really does hold a different connotation when he goes around talking about white power to people. Really has a different vibe. So,
oh my god,
question: why are they
But
beating this poor meth head?
uh,
Like, Jesus Christ, this poor person.
and this line, like I'm seeing the face, but this line, hate it.
Yeah. The entirety of the Odyssey. Oh, look, there's our guys.
The Metal
Now we're
Man.
back. But the whole point of the Odyssey is that defying and pissing off the gods is a bad idea. Because even if you do survive, you're going to have a really bad time on the way.
yeah, because it
Yes.
turns out the gods can fuck with you, but you can't really fuck with the gods.
Yep. Yep. And he fucked with the gods, and Poseidon said, "Fine, you don't get to go home."
It's like, I am literally master of the sea. It's not exactly right. It's like I am master of the sea. It's like, who are you, pale face? Right.
So we'll say paleface. We'll get Dell in here.
But back to oh, dang it.
In 2 weeks.
But yeah, apparently Elliot Page is not going to be Achilles.
Okay,
Uh,
put a pin in
Thank
that
God.
because I almost don't believe that now. Because look, they're wearing male armor.
yes.
They are wearing armor. When every other
Yes.
woman we've seen so far has been wearing a toga or
Oh,
something close.
Elliot Page will be a male character, but apparently Elliot is playing a very minor role. And it's a character that doesn't really show up in the book.
Oh, so they made something up just for her.
Yes.
Yeah. They had to
I
put
was
someone in
wondering.
there new, right?
I was wondering because I really just didn't remember any transvestites in the Odyssey, and I knew that they had to stick one in somewhere.
And the thing is, they did not like announce what Elliot was casted as until like very, very recently. And I think that was on purpose to
100%.
keep to keep the, I guess, meme or the controversy of being Achilles alive.
Well, for right now, we're at the stage of don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. And then it's going to be, once it releases and it does badly, it's going to be the racists and the sexists are gating the movie and they're saying it's bad. And then after that, we're going to be at the stage of, well, it wasn't for you.
Oh, okay. I figured out
Well,
what's going on. Okay, so apparently Elliot Page is being played by Sinon, uh, or Sinopos, whichever one you want to use. Yeah, so they're apparently not in the version by Homer, but this is a character in the Aeneid, which is the Roman account of the same story, or the fucking whole
Yeah, it's
Troy
their
arc. Yeah.
kind of afterwards.
yeah,
So
it's a
yeah,
That was
apparently
sequel
released
this
to.
is yeah,
a very
this
long
is
time ago.
apparently a character in the story, just not in Homer's version of the story.
That actually makes sense because the whole point of the Aeneid, in the same way that all the modern agenda stuff likes to deconstruct everything, was supposed to be a deconstruction of the Odyssey.
Well, I
So it
think
makes
the
sense.
whole point of the Aeneid is more along the lines of like give the side of the like the side that the Latins sided with in that whole conflict,
Yeah.
right? Because like the Hellenes sided with one side of the conflict, and then the Italians sided with another side of the conflict. So we're just getting two different accounts of the same story at two wildly different times.
Yeah. And the Greeks are not the good guys. They are not the home-sung heroes in the Aeneid.
Interestingly enough, right? It's an inversion of the the version of the story told by the Greeks, right?
Hmm.
Interesting. Interesting how the person telling the story gets to define the morals of the story, eh?
Right.
Okay, but there is hope. There is hope for this movie because she's got an arrow in her. She's got a sword to her neck. Might get a mean kill shot out of this. You know what I mean?
Oh, goodness.
We won't, but we might.
Hollywood loves defacing statues.
To
Yes,
be
they
fair,
do.
the
Or they
destruction of
do.
foreign gods is actually not that uncommon because if the god is because like if the town the god protects is overthrown, then the god themselves has been defeated, right? By their and by the gods of the invaders.
Well,
Uh,
hold on.
but that being said,
Are the gods foreign
that
in Troy?
well, again, it's like if a town like okay, I'll give you an example, right? Uh, Granted, like in Greece, everyone had the same general category of gods, right? But like
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
patron god of Athens was Athena, go figure, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Whereas the patron god of another city might be Poseidon, right? Uh, and the Greek cities did go to war with each other, right?
Oh yeah.
So whenever a town that had a patronage fell to another town, it was a sign that the town that in the gods themselves were participating in the conflict, right? So then the god of the prevailing town had overcome the god of protecting the town that fell. It doesn't necessarily mean that the god was destroyed. Oftentimes, polytheists would still take gods from the people they defeated. This is actually pretty common in the Indo-European pagan traditions too, where a lot of the defeated or subsumed peoples their gods ended up becoming part of like like the invaders pantheon. It's just how that functions. But yeah, the ritual humiliation of the gods is the thing that did happen.
I'm just
I'm gonna give
impressed
you
by how
just
strong his sword is.
Yeah, that was
absolutely.
another thing I was going to say. Is there's no fucking way that like a stone statue would have like, yeah,
Bronze
not
sword.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that.
That's a clean cut too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nailed it. 10 out of 10.
I'm
All right.
actually
Is
kind
there
of
anything in the
wondering.
last 5 seconds?
Well, we got
One
that
second.
nice little cutaway last time.
Okay, so it was actually stone because there's sparks. Okay, because I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it's wood.
Or
No,
clay.
never mind.
Yeah,
If it was like,
to Gleeman's point is like the idols, even in Greece, were made out of different things, right? Not all the idols were made out of stone. It's just the ones that we know of now are made out of stone because
because they
stone
lasted,
doesn't actually degrade over time. Yeah.
Right.
I would have
But
killed. I would have absolutely killed. And I know this is a tangent for me, but the Colossus of Rhodes, I would have done anything to be able to see it just once before it fell.
So what
That
are the
had to
odds
be
we see a
amazing.
Mercury penis statue in this?
Oh, very little. Very little. This is this is by
Inauthentic
lesbians
0 out
for
of 10, right?
lesbians.
There's no Priapus. I'm out. I'm kidding.
There will be no swinging dicks in this movie.
and that's
Closest we're
it.
gonna get to a prick is
Yeah.
Elliot Page.
Oh, no. Whoa. No.
No.
Fuck.
No random
It just
Sony
refuses
guy.
to respond.
YouTube was like, no, you're going to watch this.
It really wants you to know about the future of physical media on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I know I'm concerned. Me and Rokai have been talking about that quite a bit lately.
Yeah,
you got to
I
start
haven't been
home
talking with
labbing and
others,
you got to
but
start downloading shit. I'm just saying.
yep, absolutely.
But
So, do we have any inclination that this is going to be a good movie? Does anyone have any hope?
No.
I mean, I like Nolan's
Realistic.
other work. Like, I love Interstellar. I love like the Batman trilogy. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it. There are a number of gripes I have about it. In
So his
general, I
older
like Nolan's.
works.
Yeah, but the thing is like I've actually still never seen Inception, by the way. But
I haven't either.
I don't think this is. I'm not gonna watch this. Even if I was a movie buff that liked live action films, I probably wouldn't go watch this.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
The thing is, like, people say don't judge a book by its cover, where it's like that's the whole fucking point of the book cover is to be as
An
inviting as
advertisement.
possible for and it's like this is the whole point of a trailer. It's like the whole point of a trailer is for you to put your best foot forward to get me to be interested in seeing what you did. And again, all I saw was politics in this particular trailer. I saw a lot of things that could be like construed as like partly something else. Well, no, everything about this has been everything in the trailer has been about the interplay of power and domination and like subjugation. So
The
it's like,
fact
huh?
I was about to say that the fact that all of these trailers have been 2/3, if not 3/4 of the politics of it all, with very little showing of the actual Odyssey and the supernatural adventure that goes on. It, I can't say I have hope very much because
I'm gonna say,
obviously. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'm gonna say I get a slight feeling that we might have a demystification of the story where there is doubt placed on the events claimed within the story. This does sometimes happen, right? And I
Mhm.
don't think that that's going to play out well if that does turn out to be the case. I could be totally wrong, and they fully commit to the supernatural elements of the story, right? Uh, but I do get a slight inclination that we might have a bit of a is it really magic or is it actually not magic kind of deal going on?
Is it just natural events that have been attributed to the gods type of thing?
Or could it be that it was also some of this was just lied about? It's another
Oh,
possibility.
yeah.
Because you got to
Or
remember
Someone's
again, it's like
insane
hallucination.
God in the movie.
yeah, because you got to remember it's like there's nothing particularly divine about Zentrea's portrayal in here. They don't really try to mimic Athena in here. Like we don't really know the context behind some of this stuff. Like, is there a reason why that we didn't really see so much of the supernatural element here? Right?
It's
It
just a
is
Mhm.
homeless lady walking across Greece.
right. To be fair, two of the apostles apparently went to a city to a Greek city and were confused for being Zeus and Hermes. So it's not entirely impossible for that to happen.
Dude, what sort of an ego boost must that be to walk into a city and people be like, "Oh my god, these are literal gods." Like, they must have been ripped. They must have been looking real good for
Ready.
people to be like, "This is literally Zeus here."
Well, I mean,
Fucking
think about it.
it
They
is.
had to walk from Jerusalem to Greece. I'd be in good shape too.
Fucking, oh my god, you know what? That'd make a good Harry Spotter style fucking parody.
I'm looking at the casting for this movie, and not a single male god shows up. We have
Wait, really?
Athena, and we
Okay.
have Calypso. That's it. That is the representation of the gods.
Wait, there's no Poseidon, there's no Zeus, there's what?
Yeah,
Okay, that's a really bad sign.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. This movie's gonna be fucking awful.
That's a bigger like red flag than anything in the trailer.
Like, Poseidon should be top billing. Like, we should know who Poseidon is.
Oh, not if there isn't one.
But if there isn't one, who is stopping Odysseus from getting home?
Poseidon
could
is
also
just
be that
the enemies we made along the way.
It could also be that they don't really show Poseidon because he doesn't actually physically appear in the story, but he's also still a causal power. But at the same time, it's like you could have done this with Athena, and you could have done this with Athena too, right?
Right. Like,
What
the
if-
only one who needed to physically be there was Calypso.
What if they're going a different route
and Cersei.
And
and
Cersei.
Poseidon's not the villain? What if instead they go with like a 90s home improvement, like the dumb dad stereotype, where the actual cause of all his problems is Odysseus and there's just no gods? He's just an idiot who keeps getting lost and running into trouble.
Well,
I would
he has
actually
Athena,
crash out.
though. He has Athena, though. He's talking to Athena. Unless we're going
We don't
off
know
of the
when or
premise
where, though.
that he's hallucinating Athena.
They do
I
go
can
to the
possibly
island of
lying.
the Lotus Eaters. I wouldn't be
That's
surprised
true.
if there was some sort of like hallucination happening.
Like, he is with the Lotus Eaters, and because of the drugs that he's hallucinating Athena.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a
We
possibility.
don't know that he runs into Athena until like the last 15 minutes of the movie because we've only seen one image of them together.
Wait a minute, hold on. So the lady playing Helen of Troy actually has two roles in the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has Helen of Troy apparently, but she also has Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra. That sounds familiar. Isn't that Agamemnon's wife?
Yes.
Doesn't she kill Agamemnon at the end of the book?
So
am
she's
I
playing
right?
Menelaus's wife and Agamemnon's wife. Are they saying they're one and the same?
I have no idea. It's
We
just the
was
casting
twins and
says she
shit.
plays both.
So she's a whore.
God damn it.
I think it means she's playing two separate characters, not one character
Yeah.
that's a whore.
Well, it is current year, Teddy. We can't judge anymore.
To be fair, they are sisters, so maybe they're trying to go
Awesome.
with an identical twin role or something like that. I don't fucking know.
That could be it.
That would actually
Yeah.
track. That's
Still a stupid decision.
I'm
think
very capable of judging.
I know exactly why they did it. She got a flat free up front. So they're like, we're going to use this bitch as much as we can and get some mileage out of her.
That's funny.
I mean, I could see that because, like, the whole controversy of her playing Helen of Troy, when
Mhm.
Helen barely shows up in the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a fucking woke clusterfuck pretending to be not woke,
is.
to be perfectly honest.
I'd said that I wasn't going to watch this, very unlikely. But now I'm starting to second guess. I'm starting to question myself. Maybe I should watch it just so that I can do a video on it. I went to go see it so you don't have to style YouTube video.
See,
Eddie,
that's
I'm in
I
full
see. I
agreement.
could see that being. I could see that being the case. I would prefer making I wouldn't even pirate this video.
Also, you're going to need it so you have context when you start seeing the Elliot Page memes inevitably roll out because they are coming.
Oh yes, they
Oh yeah,
are.
the
I
very
mean,
obviously planted memes.
they're already here. Have you guys seen the deep
The Achilles
fakes?
one.
Oh yeah.
Or just getting flattened by that dude's fucking spear.
Yes, it's glorious. I love it.
I have not seen those. No.
Oh, they're
Oh,
amazing.
Elliot Page as Achilles. Look it up. It's fantastic. They put her in the scenes where it's Brad Pitt's Achilles, and what would have been if Elliot Page was Achilles.
I mean, Achilles was a bit of a pretty boy, but at the same time, that I don't think that would have been considered a pretty boy by the Greeks.
Oh no, no.
Well, we are getting dangerously close to the time limit. So, out of respect for our guest and his time, I think we should probably try to wrap it up. Any last thoughts from everyone?
The
This is gonna
trailer's shit.
blow.
Yeah.
You guys were both talking at the same time. Gleeman, try that again.
The trailer's shit.
Rhino, what did you say?
I said this is gonna blow. This is gonna be fucking awful.
Okay. Acosmic, did you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, the trailer seemed incredibly lazily put together. To be perfectly honest, it tells you almost nothing about the film that you're being asked to watch and spend your hard-earned money on. So it's an insult to the people watching the trailer, right? Uh, and as far as it goes, I don't like the dialogue, to be perfectly honest. But then again,
Mhm.
I made my controversial opinion of just make the fucking film in the original language and then possibly make a dub so you can actually dub it, have it dubbed over. But people don't like it in the Western world if like the lip movements don't match the mouth, which doesn't I don't understand. But anyway, uh, so yeah, it just seems like this is an absolute like clusterfuck waiting to happen.
I think I
There you
agree.
have it.
It doesn't look good. Um, I hopefully we are all pleasantly surprised,
Oh yeah,
and
I would
I'm
rather be
happy.
wrong.
I'm happy to say that I was wrong about how it turned out, if that's the way it happens. But I don't think that's
You
the way
won't.
it's going.
I don't think you
Likewise, but
will.
I'm a lot more harsh of a critic on stuff that has the crypto DEI and crypto communist, stuff in it. Because as I said earlier, the whole one drop of poison, like in a cup of water.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
drink the drop of poison just because it's in a cup of water. Just because again, it's the only water you've had. Maybe you can still drink some soda in the meantime, right?
And this movie has mini drops.
Yeah.
There you have it, Teddy.
All right. So thank you everyone for sticking around and listening to the podcast. Once again, I'm TeddyGrizz. I do YouTube stuff as well as a little bit of streaming. We got Rhino Rocks. Rhino, tell them what you do.
Hi, I'm Rhino. I do AI music and occasionally I'll do Yap videos as well.
And
And
Gleeman.
and I am Gleeman. I do AI music video breakdowns as well as music or lore songs. I'm currently working on two series, which is a world building project of mine called Anoa, the Tales from Anoa. And I am also doing I guess, a think piece on colors, which I have currently The Color of Red out on my channel. Go watch it.
And most importantly, a Cosmic. Please tell the people that are listening and watching where they can find you and what you're up to.
Well, certainly. So all of my videos are on YouTube and on Odyssey. I tried to upload a bunch of stuff on Rumble at one time, and I've lost track of where exactly I am. Because everything fucking uploaded out of order, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what's up now. But I stream on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. Mostly every Tuesday and Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. If I miss one of those days, I usually stream the day after. Uh, so there's that. Uh, is about it.
Awesome. Acosmic, thank you so much for joining us for Present Company Included.
No problem.
And I guess that's about it. Until next time, take it
I'll
easy.
do that.
See you later.